Hey there, super friends. This is Joey with Last Point Gaming. Today is Wednesday, January 3rd, 2018. If you want to connect with us on social media, you can friend up our Last Point Gaming Facebook account. You can follow us on Twitter at Last Point Gaming. You can follow me personally on Twitter at Stranger Sparrow, or you can always reach out directly with an email to lastpointgaming@gmail.com. You can also subscribe to us on YouTube. That's an option. So, it's been a while. If you're new here, usually I do one cast a day on my drive home in the evening. This week I'm only in work 3 days, so I'm doing on my way to work, on my way home from work this evening. Skipping on my way to work tomorrow because I have an appointment in the morning, doing on the way home, and then Friday I'll do on the way to work and on the way home from work. This week I'm going to start off with the FNM report / weekend gaming report. Then going to talk about some things that I find new and exciting coming up here for Last Point. Then probably talk some about the Rivals of Ixalan previews. I guess we're not calling them spoilers anymore. But talking about some of the preview cards from next set. Then maybe talk a little bit about Modern. And if I run out of things to talk about concerning all those things, I may delve into the current drama going on, but I'm going to try to avoid it. I apologize if sound quality is bad today. It is 5 degrees outside, so my heat is still up pretty high. Usually I turn down the HVAC in my car because it causes problems with recording, but sorry guys, it's just too cold. So, this weekend, Friday, my LGS, the Adventurers Guild, did their store championship instead of FNM. I went 1-3, which was better than my last week record of 0-4, so I guess I'll take it. I don't know. Wasn't really feeling it too terribly much. I am actually very excited for Rivals of Ixalan to come out because preview cards that came out this weekend were the Merfolk Lord and the Vampire Lord, which means some more aggressive decks should open up, and I'm really hoping, because I'm just really tired of playing Rammy Red. Now, I'm not sure which direction I'm gonna go. I think there's a solid white-red aggro deck out there. I just gotta figure it out. The black-red aggro deck running around is actually very solid and very fun to play. I got to play a couple games with my friend's build. Haven't got to play it like at FNM or anything, but it's pretty solid and very enjoyable, honestly. Aggro the way aggro is meant to be played. So I'm very excited to hopefully be getting off Rammy Red here soon. I'm hoping to not have to scrap everything, just because I have invested a lot into this deck. But honestly, if it comes to that, I'm willing to do it, just because this deck has never actually been enjoyable to play. Like, it was exciting the week I 4-0'd with it, but since I picked it up, it's been kind of a, this is the best option I got available to me that's competitive. But I've never really loved this deck. Then Saturday, because this wasn't Boo's week to go to FNM, so she didn't go with me, so she missed the store championship, and she was a little upset about that. We went over to another local store called the Game Table Cafe. This place was great. It's a little bit of a drive for us. It's probably about twice the distance from my house as the Guild is. But they're like a kind of coffee shop plus game store. Yeah, they sell sandwiches and stuff, and they do coffee, and actually the latte I got was pretty awesome. Very well done, very well made. And we ended up getting dinner after the event there. Their kitchen's actually open pretty late. But one of the really neat things about this store is if you're just going in, there is a cover charge, and it's like $5 per person, which I know sounds like a lot, but they have store copies of like 1 billion board games in like all age ranges, skill levels. I mean, they just have a massive collection of stuff. So for that $5, you can, and I talked to the girl about it who was working, and she said, you know, you pay $5 and then that's it for the day. So if you leave and you come back, you know, you're still covered under that same $5. And I understand why they do a cover charge. Personally, I think it would feel like a little less of a kick if it's like, well, you give us $5 and you get $5 in credit if you want to get, you know, coffee or something while you're there. But their prices were actually pretty reasonable. Their store championship was sealed, but it was very odd sealed. It was pick your 6 packs out of everything in standard. So, like, I went with 2 Hour of Devastation, 2 Amonkhet, 1 Aether Revolt, and I felt like I had to go 1 Ixalan. That was probably a mistake, because Ixalan itself was a very underpowered set. But it was a good time. Boo picked a similar range of packs. I think she went with 2 Ixalan and like 1 Hour of Devastation. I mean, really, I probably should have gone 3 and 3 Hour and Amonkhet out of what was available, just because I hate everything about Kaladesh. But it was a good time. I did top 8 that one. Now, there were only like 14 players. So I got one of the skippy little deck boxes. I appreciate WotC giving prize support other than the mat. And that's the best I can say about the deck boxes. They're the really awkward kind that, like, the whole front side folds over the back side. I don't really know how to describe them. Trying to think of who else makes the deck boxes like this. It's almost got to be Ultra Pro, because WotC and Ultra Pro have always had a pretty close relationship. Like, all the set mats, you know, featuring art from the new set are always Ultra Pro. So they almost have to be Ultra Pro deck boxes. Yeah, I don't care for this style of deck box, but again, it was, you know, a nice kind of freebie. But going back to where I started, so sealed, of course, was $25 per person. You know, it's the usual going rate for sealed deck tournaments. So I registered me and Boo. I got a latte. I got her a like Frappuccino style thing with no coffee in it, so it was basically a chocolate milkshake. And our total was $58. So the 2 drinks were $8, which is pretty reasonable, coming from somebody with an extreme Starbucks addiction. So, and because we were going for a specific event, we didn't have to pay cover charge. And I think it's Wednesdays, they do like family night, which then the cover charge is only $1. Now, Wednesdays, we can't make it over there after work and everything, with with kids and homework and all that needs taken care of. So during the week's not really an option for us. Man, I can't even manage to get to the guild for events during the week. But it was a really nice place. So if you're in the area and you haven't checked it out, I do recommend. Real friendly staff, real friendly player base. So if you're a little more of a Spike than a Timmy, it's probably not the crowd for you. Now, I'm sure a grinder could roll in there for their FNMs or whatever and just roll them, because it is a much lighter competitive environment. But I don't understand what the appeal is there, because most grinders look for a higher level of competition to help hone their skills. You know, you're practicing, you're play testing, your training is only, the quality is limited by the quality of your opponents. So like, you know, Boo and I can play test together, you know, leading up to an event or whatever, but the honest truth is, because she's very new to the game, and so very low skill level, and I'm only like mid-range, us training together isn't going to get us anywhere at a competitive event. So that's why I say grinders may not find a lot of value in their gaming community. They seem to have cultivated more of a casual feel, but it's nice. Also, I would hate to see some, you know, spiky FNM hero go in there and kind of ruin what they got going on with their a little bit softer competitive player base. But again, if your goal is to like prep for GPs and everything, this is not the place you want to go play. But if you want to go have a good time, hang out with some nice people, and play some fun janky deck and do alright with it, it seems like a great place. Like I said, super friendly staff. They even, like at the start of the tournament, because the guy who was running it was playing, they asked for a backup judge if there were any calls during his match, because they felt that him ruling over his own matches was not great. So I volunteered, another guy volunteered, and they're like, and then Mr. Vance was actually there, and he was like, well, she's certified. I was like, oh yeah, I got my L1 certification last month. And they were like, cool, you win. So, handled a few judge calls. The guy who was running it was playing a little bit grindier of a deck, so his rounds were going pretty long. I almost offered to enter results for him, but I didn't want to, like, seem like I was trying to step on his toes and take over. You know, that's not my house. But, no, it's a great place, great feel. Highly recommend. Even if you're not looking to play Magic, you and a couple of your friends get together and it's like, we want to, you know, go play games. Just go play a bunch of board games. Try everything. See what you like, see what you don't. I like the idea of getting to kind of try before you buy, because board games are crazy expensive. Especially like board games that wear out of amusement pretty quickly. Like, one of my favorite things about Betrayal at the House on Haunted Hill is there's a lot of replayability because the scenarios change, the house layout changes and everything. But there does even come a point with that game where you've kind of done it all. Like, there are certain scenarios that come up for the Haunter that, like, we look at it and we're like, no, we've done this one and it was awful. Like, let's just pick one that's better. And Betrayal does have rules for picking an alternate scenario if you run into one you've already done, but we've been playing that game for so long, and for so long it was like our go-to game, I think we've played all of them now. Even still, it's a fun game, and you still have, like, the varying house layout and everything. But, like, there are other games that they have that kind of Monopoly-esque feel, that once you figure out the key to winning, just everybody's going after that win con, and it becomes really boring and stale. So to get to try out games before, you invest the money in them, or if it's a game that you think is only really going to be fun once, go play it there instead of shelling out $50. Yeah, so all in all, highly recommend checking the place out. So that's, there I went 1-3, I think I went 1-3 again, maybe 2-2. Yeah, I think I went 2-2. It's kind of hard to remember. I had one round that I thought I had it locked up, and if I would have held out longer, I probably would have been able to force game 2 to a draw, and I had won game 1, but I got impatient and I swung out and I paid for it. That's right. I was 2-0-1. No, 2-1-1. 2 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, I think. That sounds right. I don't know. This was a while ago, actually. This vacation's been nice. Has made me really think, man, I'm like tired of working. So we bought a bunch of lottery tickets because Mega Millions and Powerball are like way up there. So here's hoping. Probably not, but it's fun to hope. It's gonna be rough getting back to work here, especially where we're at in the cycle for the current release. These 3 days are gonna be chock full of fun and excitement. But so it goes. It's nice to get a break and relax. Had a hard time sleeping last night though, so today in particular is gonna be pretty rough, and I'm probably gonna get stuck at work late. But y'all don't care about any of that, so I'm gonna move on to what I feel is new and exciting stuff for Last Point. So we were having connection issues with our internet. Finally got our service provider to send out texts to look at everything, and they replaced so much stuff. When we bought the house, 4 or 5 years ago now, it was a while ago. Oh man, lighters don't work good in cold. But when we bought the house and we had our internet set up, we went with the same provider and same service that the people who had owned the house before us had. So the guy came out, aggravated a wasp's nest, and went, I would avoid that side of your house for a while. Brought me a big can of the Telco flying insect killer. But nothing got replaced or anything. He's like, this equipment all looks fine. We got a new router, but as far as the line into the house and everything, it's like, everything looks fine. Well, apparently over the years, things became not fine. So, we were dropping internet connection all the time. Well, that finally seems to be fixed. I was still having problems with Xmage, and then I downloaded the latest update for Xmage, and that seems to be fixed. I've downloaded OBS. I don't remember what that stands for, something broadcasting software. So it can do the screen cap recording. So I think I'm going to start doing some gameplay videos. I got it set up with Xmage. I've done a couple recordings, but again, my connection issues caused everything to kind of die on me. But at least I saw how the recording worked, and I think I got all the settings. I don't have the cool overlays yet. I got to work on that. I have to figure out how one builds all that. I'm not going to do live streaming at this point, but I think I am going to do some gameplay videos and upload them to our YouTube channel. They're probably mostly going to be X-Mage. I do a little bit with MTGO. Like, once Rivals drops on MTGO, I may do some drafting on there. But I have to set up OBS for MTGO, because you have to set it up for, like, each thing you're going to screen cap. So yeah, you should check out our YouTube channel. The other thing is I've started getting the list together of things that we need to set up the recording studio down in the game cave. And I'm hoping to get all that sorted out in the next, like, 6 months or so that we can start doing the tabletop recording. So that's coming down the pipeline. You know, hopefully we'll actually get moving and, like, get husband involved. So there should be some fun changes coming up here for us in our content. Again, on YouTube, our channel is Last Point Gaming. Has the same little heart logo that all of our other accounts have, including, you know, podcasts and everything. So if you want to go subscribe ahead of time, our podcast gets pushed to the YouTube channel currently, or I'll try to keep you all informed as we progress with that and what's up there and what's going on. May at some point set up a Twitch channel. I don't know. Right now, I just want to get YouTube set up and everything. And while we're probably going to do mostly focused on Magic, we may include some board game stuff as well, with the Epidemic, and do some collaborative work there. But all that being said, I am at work, so I'm going to cut off here. As always, if you made it this far with me, thank you very much for listening, and I'll talk to you all this evening.